In today's episode, I'll be giving my review and reaction for the 7th episode in Survivor's 48th season titled Survivor of the Smack Talk. So let's dive right into Survivor of the Smack Talk. Do something, man. People are questioning you. Shut up. Shut up. Okay, yep, do that. Sure, guys. Stupid and dumb. Just an idiot. Get your shit together, son. Fuck it. I loved it. Welcome to the Dub Cast. Jumping into this episode, we have, as always, the repercussions from last week's tribal council. We start this one out with Mitch, and he has to deal with the consequences of last tribal. That being Charity voted out, his closest ally in the game. He was deceived by Kyle and Camilla, and he is going to try and reconcile with Say. Now, Say was obviously the other vote between Charity. I think it was a 7-5 to 1 vote, so there were 5 people who voted for Say, but Mitch feels like he's got to be the one to go talk to her, and she doesn't buy it for a second. And this will set up later on what's going to happen in the split tribal council, but interesting to see Mitch's kind of somewhat comeback story here. We'll see. But yeah. So moving it forward, Cedric gets 1 vote and then tweaks out about it. I'm not sure why everyone always tweaks out about this. Everyone tries to play like a perfect game where you don't get any votes. Dude, not happening. This is Survivor. You're gonna get votes. Just be glad you're not here, or you're still here, and it could have been you voted out. Obviously, Say was the one who voted for him, and she wrote in cursive, so no one would know who it was. Crazy move by Say to write in a different character. I believe that's the correct word, so that no one would know who it was. Recognizing off hand patterns or handwriting patterns, kind of smart because Cedric has been at the most tribal councils with her, so he would be able to recognize her handwriting. Say put on Twitter, I think that, or just said in exit interviews that she was trying to get her lick back. I respect it. Say was bringing the energy this season. We'll talk about that in a second, but always funny to see like these hinky votes in Big Brother or these hinky votes in Survivor cause people to tweak out. We saw Sifu season 45, etc. So that was a funny scene, I thought. Mitch, in his efforts post tribal, is going to build trust with Joe and Shaheen. They have a nice little conversation. Mitch kind of gives his background story, and Joe likes what he's saying, but he's also like, Mitch could win this game. And this made me think that Mitch would win immunity just due to them pointing him out as a threat. I was pretty surprised he wasn't going to, or he didn't end up winning immunity, just because this whole pre-challenge segment was like, if Mitch is vulnerable, we got to take him out. So that means he's going to win immunity usually in the Survivor edit, but nope. So we have Say also doing her reconciling. She's going to talk with Shaheen. Somewhat of a reconciliation here. Shaheen thinks he's in a really good position. He's in the middle of everything. Kind of buys what Say is saying, but he's also like kind of tentative. Like, I could use her down the line, etc. But I don't know if she's going to be the best ally just because she caused a lot of chaos. So kind of like a keeping her at hand's length type thing. So we get to the challenge. It's the classic split immunity challenge. 2 groups of 6. 2 people win immunity. Both groups go to tribal council, and the first group going doesn't make the jury. Once again, I think this is stupid. People who make the merge should make the jury. I think Charity should be on the jury. I think the person who gets voted out in this first group should be on the jury. Last season we saw Tatiana go home in this spot. Rome went home before that. Like, these people made the merge. Just do 2 more rounds of the pre-merge. You know what solves this problem is 2 tribes of 10, where you can just get down to, if you do 5 vote offs, the tribe still has 5. Like, in the worst case scenario, the losing tribe still has 5 people. But we know they're not doing that, so I'll quit bitching. I don't like this twist of the person not making the jury. I mean, Dwight Moore, Matt Blankenship didn't make the jury. Doesn't matter. I just don't like the fact that the person not making the jury. So we have the 2 groups. The orange group is Say, Eva, Chrissy, Star, Joe, and Mitch. The purple group is David, Cedric, Shaheen, Mary, Kyle, and Camilla. So it's interesting back and forth because the person who wins in one group still has to stay up there for a reward potentially. Highlights of the challenge: Cedric drops within the first 30 seconds. Just I feel bad for Cedric, didn't have the challenge performances he was looking for on this season. He had the immunity challenge where him and Kevin couldn't get the I think it was like a rod across the bridge, and now he's just doing this. Tough season for Cedric, man. I believe he was Cedric at every tribal council besides the Thomas vote out. That's crazy. You know, I don't think he's even bad necessarily in challenges. I think, just bad things happen to him. So feel bad for him. And then after that, a couple people drop super fast. We get the hyped up smack talk scene between David and Kyle. Eva joins in. Shaheen's doing the music, which, I don't mind that scene of Shaheen doing the music. I thought that was kind of funny, especially because they like dub it in there as well. Joe is going to end up winning immunity for the orange group, and David wins it for the purple group after Kyle drops. So it's a back and forth challenge between Joe and David. They're no Charlie Davis with the grip strength, even though they broke the record for this challenge, which I feel like there's always records being broken for the challenges. Doesn't really matter to me that much. But this record beats out Gabler when he was chanting out a million different names. And it is going to end up being David who wins for his group the reward challenge, which I believe was peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and also gets to save the majority spot. So pretty big game impacts there. So the orange group will go first. That person will not make the jury. The purple tribe will go second. That person will make the jury. So on the purple tribe, it looks like Cedric will be the early target, but Kyle is throwing out a Shaheen plan, which I think this is way too early to do this plan, especially if you have this over like big alliance. Like Shaheen could be a nice shield for you moving forward if this strong group's going to become the targets. So I thought that was kind of just a lot of smoke. I didn't think there was actually a real potential of Shaheen going home. Say or Mitch on the orange team is looking at the target there. Seems too obvious to be Say, I thought, but sometimes it is the obvious vote. So Kyle and Camilla make a plan to throw Shaheen under the bus back in the purple tribe. They're going to make it seem like Shaheen has the idol. So if you have an idol, you got to go, which I don't like that sentiment. You can use idols to your advantage, especially in your alliance, but I mean, it's the whole mistrust thing. I don't know. I don't know if I liked it or not. It is what it is. I think this plan's too early. I couldn't tell if this was really like a TV plan where they're like, oh, it's not going to be it's not going to be Cedric, it's going to be Shaheen, where we're just faking this plan, but it is. So, I don't know. Back in the orange tribe, momentum is switching to get Mitch out after Chrissy flips on Mitch and realizes that Mitch is going to be the right at the end. I don't know. This all felt kind of, felt like it was going out an easy road. So orange group gets the tribal council. Chrissy, I thought, was speaking way too openly of like, we're going to have to get people out of the game and we're going to have to lie and cheat and steal. Girl, look who you're around. I mean, you have Eva, Joe playing this honest game. They're like the leaders of that. Star's trying to fit in with them. So I thought Chrissy's tribal was a little bit dangerous. I think that might be harmful for her moving forward. Mitch is going to use the block vote on Say. And once we see that happen, it's like, we know it's going down, man. Say is voted out in a 5-0 vote. There goes the entertainment of the season, man. I mean, I said this on TV time. There's not a lot of exciting people left in the game. I think Say was bringing a lot of energy, a lot of drama. I mean, these past boots have been awful. I mean, Charity, say what you will, played a terrible game, but she was bringing action, bringing drama. Bianca, same thing. Thomas, like, we're missing out on all these people providing content for us. It's like the boring, strong alliance that's going to run the game. Hopefully that switches up. There's still some exciting characters out there like Mary and, Joe and Eva's storyline's cool, but it's like, we know the switching tides. I think we still have a long season ahead of us. Kyle and Camilla are cool. Like, Shaheen's cool. It is what it is. Star, I really like Star. I mean, I like most of the people. It's just, I don't know. It feels like this was a miss because Say was awesome, and I like Say. I know a lot of people didn't like Say, but maybe Say will be back for season 50. A lot of rumored cast ever, but I don't know if I see it. So on the purple team, boring tribal council as well. Didn't have any notes from the actual tribal council. Cedric voted out 5-1. First member of the jury, lame move, but whatever. I mean, felt too early to do the Shaheen move. I mean, besides that, what even navigation do you have to do? You have I mean, you're not going to get David. He has the immunity. You Shaheen, I just said, I think it's too early to do that. Mary, it's like doing the same thing as getting Cedric out. So, yeah, I mean, there's not really much room to navigate there. So I guess that was kind of what they needed to do. So Cedric will be the mayor of Ponderosa. Congratulations to Cedric. Cedric, yeah, I mean, we'll miss him. Not really. I mean, he had some fun stuff just because he was in the middle of every vote, but first member of the jury will vote for $1 million for somebody. So there you go. That'll do it. Shorter recap on this episode. Not sure why. Thought this was kind of a pretty boring episode, to be honest. I thought the Say boot was pretty evident, and also especially the Cedric boot I thought was pretty evident. Don't like the split tribal council because it just kind of sucks they out of the game. We could just do a nice merge vote and get a 6-5 vote like last time. But no, we have to split off and do dangerous fun even more. Like, just either make the pre-merge longer, stop doing the split tribal, but I know they're going to keep doing it, so it is what it is. I mean, they even did it in season 40. Also, not to mention, crazy stat, like 9 out of the last 10 people have been African American voted out of the split tribal council. I don't even think that's I don't even know how that would make sense as a trend that people would actively do. And the one person that wasn't was Tori in season 42, where she was supposed to be safe because either Drea or Marianne was going to go home. Just, I mean, I don't know what the fix is, but that's a weird, really weird trend that I hope doesn't continue. So that'll wrap up the episode. I mean, what did you guys think of this episode? I thought it was pretty run-of-the-mill, kind of a cool-down episode. I feel like last episodes have been a little bit lackluster. I mean, the vote was cool last time, but hoping this season keeps up from the pre-merge, picks back up, and we get some nice vote outs. So now I'll give my top 3 to win and top 3 out next. So top 3 to win. Number 1, I got Joe. I just think Joe has a really good storyline. Don't see him being voted out. I think Eva's ahead of him as a target. I also could see him and Eva being together at Final Tribal Council and Joe earning the respect just because Eva's the youngest person on the cast by 10 years. So I think Joe, has a lot of good edit in his favor as well, where that Thomas vote out, he was kind of shielded in that, where Shaheen was shown to be a dummy. So I got Joe number 1. Number 2, I got Eva. Same thing as Joe, crazy edit, strong edit, has an idol. I wonder if she's able to get the respect at the end. I mean, she has a good story, but I don't know. I don't know what this jury is going to be like. I guess we'll have to wait and see on that. Number 3, wide gap, but then I got Camilla. She's been kind of quiet the last couple episodes. I mean, she didn't get her way this episode because they wanted to get Shaheen out, but they end up getting Cedric out, boring vote. But she's kind of playing the middle perfectly and had a pretty good edit up until now. So yeah, other people I think can win. I think Mitch has a shot. I mean, I don't think he's going to win, but I think, if there's somebody else out there who can do it, it might be Mitch. Chrissy, no shot. Star, looking unlikely. David, I think a lot of people have been saying he's a runner-up type. I could see that. I don't really see David being the winner of the season. Shaheen, a lot of people like, but I'm not seeing it. He got dunked on in that Thomas episode. He got dunked on. Mary has been super quiet, and Kyle, his edit has been no personal content. So really it's down to those 3 right now. I'm sure looking back on this, I'll be like, wow, you're dumb because the person who won was obvious to win all the time and you just missed it. But that's my top 3, Joe, Eva, Camilla, outside chance of Mitch, and then maybe Shaheen. Those are the only people I'm considering. Top 3 players out next. Number 1, I got Chrissy. I think her speaking up at Tribal Council is not good for her game. I think people will come after her, and I also think she's kind of had a lackluster edit. I think she's early fodder, or she's gonna be that last person taken out before fire making. I think she could be someone that goes early though. Mitch, obviously a target this episode. I think he could be on the potential bubble to go home next week as well, just due to his story, strong challenge, prowess. People worried about him. Star was my 3rd one. I just think Star's been kind of almost not, she's not ready to go because she's obviously playing to win, but that it's she could just go anytime. But she is picking up steam though, so maybe Star, we see her last a long time. I could see her being a 0 vote finalist as well. So yeah, those are just my top 3. I mean, would they get Mary out again to get all the greens out? I don't know. So I'm excited for this next week's Survivor episode. Sorry for this one being late. Was under the weather last week, couldn't podcast, so I'm really behind on a lot of stuff, but we're catching up. So Now, next videos will be obviously Survivor Season 48, Episode 8 will be out in a couple days. We'll do that. And then after that, we have White Lotus recap and review, reaction, and then tier list for that. Same thing with Severance Season 2. So, two banger shows right there. Movies, we got Backdraft, and we have The Hunt for Red October coming up on the movie review end. And then sports, we have NBA brackets, predictions, analysis for round one. We'll be bringing the guest on for that one. And then we also will have an NFL full first round mock draft. Hoping to do a stream for that. So stay tuned, guys, in the Dubcast. It's lit. We got content flowing. We're back. Flu game. Sorry about the UFC short video, but if you took my picks, we did pretty well. Made myself a pretty penny on Saturday night. So, as always, appreciate you guys watching. And as always, be easy, y'all.